China is arming Burkina Faso, filling the void left by France and the United States, and tightening its grip on the Sahel. From rocket launchers to armoured vehicles, Beijing's weapons are flooding into West Africa under Junta leader Ibrahim Traoré's watch. Russia is also circling, offering its own security pact. The Sahel has become a new front line, where Western retreat is being replaced by Chinese firepower and Russian promises. China is equipping Burkina Faso's military and positioning itself for greater influence in the Sahel, filling a vacuum left by the collapse of security partnerships with Western nations, especially the United States and France, South China Morning Post reported on August 16th. The move is part of a broader modernization plan that the Burkinabe government, headed by Junta leader Ibrahim Traoré, announced in late 2023 amid growing insecurity waged by jihadist militants, mostly affiliated with al-Qaeda and Islamic State. Burkina Faso faces a grave threat from al-Qaeda and its affiliates, particularly Jama'at Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin, JNIM. Formed in 2017, JNIM has become one of the most lethal jihadist groups in West Africa, driving a surge of militant attacks across Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Today, an estimated 40% of Burkina Faso's territory is under the control of al-Qaeda-linked and Islamic State-aligned factions. Against this backdrop, Burkina Faso's growing relationship with China takes on added importance, particularly in strengthening security and stability. After a complex diplomatic history that saw relations first established in 1973 and then severed in 1994, China officially re-established diplomatic ties with Burkina Faso in 2018. While Ouagadougou had historically sourced some arms from China, the restoration of relations set the stage for large-scale military cooperation, which began in 2024 with the signing of a multi-phase deal with the Chinese state-owned defense contractor China North Industries Group Corporation, or Norinco. The country has received at least 4 major consignments from China since early 2024. The latest delivery, filmed at a port facility earlier this month, included VN-22B fire support vehicles, PLL-05 120mm self-propelled gun mortar systems, and SR-5 rocket launch systems, according to Military Africa, a news platform on African defense, security and military affairs. This follows earlier deliveries of large numbers of CS/VP 14 mine-resistant vehicles and other armoured equipment, all manufactured by Norinco, according to data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. The new weapons could give Burkina Faso's forces a sharper edge against militants. The VN-22B vehicles provide protection and heavy firepower for troops on the move. The PLL-05 gun mortars can deliver powerful strikes at both short and medium ranges, useful for flushing out fighters from strongholds. And the SR-5 rocket systems bring long-range firepower, allowing the army to hit militant camps and supply lines from a distance. These advanced systems are expected to significantly boost Burkina Faso's firepower, mobility, and precision strike capabilities, particularly amid ongoing operations against Islamist militants in the Sahel. The procurement is part of a multi-phase modernization plan initiated by Junta leader Captain Ibrahim Traoré. In the last year alone, Burkina Faso also acquired mine-resistant vehicles from Turkey, Egypt, and locally produced light armoured units, pointing to a deliberate policy of supplier diversification. While financial details remain undisclosed, the country's limited defence budget raises questions about how such high-value assets were financed. Analysts suggested the North Africa Post that options may include deferred payments or concessional loans. China's appeal, driven by competitive pricing, rapid delivery and flexible financing, has turned it into Africa's top defence supplier, with roughly 70% of African countries now operating Chinese-made armoured vehicles. For Beijing, such deals advance its strategic and diplomatic influence, while for Burkina Faso, they represent a critical lifeline in a deteriorating security landscape. Like several other countries in the Sahel and West Africa, where China has extensive economic interests, Burkina Faso has undergone a wave of military takeovers. President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore was ousted in early 2022, followed by his successor, military leader Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, later that September. Since Captain Ibrahim Traoré seized power in the second coup, Burkina Faso has expelled French troops, marking the collapse of Operation Barkhane, France's flagship counter-terrorism mission in the Sahel. Although US forces have not been formally forced out, the government has steadily distanced itself from security cooperation with Washington, a move that has angered US officials. Beijing, by contrast, offers engagement free of political conditions, while Western partners have traditionally tied assistance to demands for democratization and human rights, requirements many local elites have viewed as an unwelcome burden, notes Liselott Odgaard of the Norwegian Institute for Defense Studies and the Hudson Institute.
China would like to have good access to the Atlantic Ocean as strategic competition with the US heats up. Beijing is already a major arms exporter to Nigeria and is well positioned to expand arms exports to other West African nations.
She further added that China had also focused on Burkina Faso with development aid and granted it zero tariffs on exports to China, boosting its trade opportunities.
So China uses a carrot approach, trying to accommodate the needs of these countries, rather than a stick approach of punishing them for undesired behavior. And that helps create close links.
Meanwhile, Russia has also been active in the region. Moscow is ready to provide security assistance to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to combat terrorism and armed groups destabilizing the Sahel, the Russian Defense Ministry has said. The West African countries have faced a decade-long jihadist insurgency that has killed thousands and displaced millions. The ministry made the commitment during the first consultation between the defense departments of Russia and the member countries of the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. During the meeting, Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov warned that terrorist threats and intensified activity by illegal armed groups persist in the Sahel region despite its leaders' push for sustainable peace. Use quote GFX?
We support your position on the need to strengthen security, protect territories and sovereignty. The joint dialogue would be an important forum for discussing ways to strengthen defense cooperation between Moscow and the AES.
On August 14th, the Russian Defense Ministry and the AES states signed a memorandum of understanding, signaling an expansion of military ties. Speaking on behalf of the Sahel Alliance, Malian Defense Minister Sadio Camara said defense remains the largest area of cooperation between Russia and the three countries. He welcomed the inaugural meeting of the security chiefs as a common desire to strengthen the strategic partnership.